So I think it's time to fire the project back up on the Dart. So me and my dad, we may be a little bit too overambitious idiots, but I'm gonna go over what we're gonna try and accomplish on this. So as you guys remember, we picked this car up early this spring, kind of late winter-ish, and started out on a rotisserie. Now it's a roller, but it has no drive line in it. It's got a rear end in it, front suspension. Still missing a lot of stuff. Doesn't have a steering column in it. Still missing, you know, doesn't have any carpet. My dad did buy a carpet for it. Steering column's there. Does need a little bit of metal work finished up on it. You know, so we got that going on. I still need to get the engine configured for this thing. So we bought this flat tappet, I believe a 78 360 for this car. And, oh, there's the shop manager. He's back out again, getting him some lunch. So this motor here, I bought this off a dude and paid like $100 for it. Turns out the rotating assembly's kind of spanked. The crank kind of has some stuff that's not good in it. And, you know, rod and pistons are so-so on it. I still have the crank that came out of my 408 when I put it together. So this is the factory cast 360 crank. And it's been sitting a little while, but it looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do, either we're going to use this or we'll use this one. This is a roller cam motor that my dad bought, and the bores are absolutely whacked in it. So it definitely, it needs bored and everything. I think the bores are a little better on that motor. But we're going to run a flat tappet, so I'm going to use the flat tappet motor. I think we're pulling the whole rotating assembly out of this roller cam motor, so we'll either use this crankshaft or that one. And we're going to use the rods and pistons out of this motor to throw into this one. My dad got these off a dude. He was working on his truck. So he's got all new springs and supposedly had a valve job done on them, so the heads are fresh. We got a stock cam out of a 7340 that we're planning on running. Got all the lifters for it. It came out of a 7340 that was at one point in the Mopar muscle truck. So we got the transmission, if anybody remembers that video. But I did the shift kit on this. Went through, inspected the whole trans, and I think it's completely fine. So we're gonna run it. Got the torque converter. We got a 8 3/4 in this car now that came out of another Dart. And it's got 323 gears, I believe. I think it's a 323 open. So I'm gonna put this in there. This uses the same output spline as a 727. This is that 44RH, which is, you know, like an overdrive 904. So hopefully, I hope they're close enough that we don't have to get a drive shaft made. I think this is like 1.5 inches longer than a 727, so may have to still get one shortened. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot of work to do to get to where we need to be on this. So you're probably wondering, what's the goal? Well, today is July 8th, and what we're trying to accomplish is get this done for the Mopar Nationals, which is July 31st in Columbus, Ohio. So it's a lot of work, but I mean, we've managed time crunches before. This is a pretty big one. We got about 3 weeks to get it done. And like I said, we don't have a motor that's ready to run at all. You know, we got a lot of work there. Transmission should be good, but then we got to get the transmission put in the car and cut the cross member out, make a, you know, new cross member to fit everything because the tail shaft's bigger on that transmission. I mean, it's some pretty serious work. Luckily, my dad's retired, so he's home pretty much all the time, and he's got time to work on this and tinker with it. I got to work, so that really kills a lot of my day, but I'm going to spend some time after work every day, like a couple hours probably, and just kind of hammer out little stuff on this motor. Try and get these rods and pistons done, clean this motor up, fully assembled, try and get it done within maybe a week or two, and hopefully we can get it thrown in the car. Look at this little guy, man. He's getting bigger and bigger, isn't he? We got him over here on the door. He is now the new shop manager, Ricky Jack. And his full name is Richard. And he's quite a spunky little fella, I tell you. He likes to munch on you. But he's been pretty cool. He's a good kitty. He's been doing all right out here. And he attacks all the time. Quick funny little story about this guy. So I was pulling the rods and pistons out of this motor here, and I pulled one of them off while it was sitting on this stand. So I left both nuts in the cab. You can actually see the rod bearings, they're still here. Left those sitting there, and I was missing one of them. And one was on the stand, one was missing. So I started looking all over the place, looking on the stand, looking all over the floor. Couldn't find that nut anywhere. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, what the heck happened to that nut? I can't find it. Sitting here, this little guy, shop manager right here, look at him, he's digging into it now. He starts digging into this dustpan and pulls the nut out that I'm looking for. It got swept up into the dustpan. I don't know how he found it or knew that I was looking for it or anything. He just happened to yank it out right at the right time. And that's 100% why he has now been promoted to shop manager. Look at this guy. Brr. What a killer. Ferocious little fellow. Dang it, Ricky Jack, stop doing that. Well, I went ahead and set him up with a string worm, so hopefully he'll stay out of my way for a little while. Got to distract your shop manager when you're getting ready to work and be busy. That way he don't bug you too much. I just have to say there's something about these engines, like when you crack the main caps on them, there's just some smell that these things have. It's just like burnt oil or something. Every one of these I've ever tore apart has that smell, and if you've ever torn one down, you have to know what it smells like too, because it is just a very unique smell that these things give off. It's very weird. Well, after tinkering around, I got all the rods and pistons out of this motor here, and I got the crank out of it. So I got it right next to the other crank out of that other 360 I got. Yeah, the reason I got it laid on its side, I believe it's got a pilot bushing in the back. I didn't realize this was out of a manual truck or something, but so you see this one doesn't have anything. This one's got this bushing and it's kind of worn, so I can't really lay it on the back. I know everybody's like, oh, you're gonna lay them standing up, you're gonna warp the crank. If you genuinely think you're gonna warp a piece of cast iron like that, you're probably an idiot. But surprisingly enough, the mains on this motor actually look really clean. They're really nice, like reusable nice. So found that out on a lot of 360s that the mains normally don't get tore up on them. It's always the rod bearings. Got all these pistons to clean, and this little guy wants to take a frickin' nap. Lazy mother. Well, it's 2:08 in the morning. Got my last piston and rod soaking here I gotta clean up, but yeah, man, what it takes to get a little project like this done is a little bit of work every night, you know. Just chipping away at it seems to help a lot. So we'll stay up late and get this thing done here. Well, that's the last one. Get them all cleaned up, parts washer and everything. They all look pretty good, so I think they're gonna be all right to run. Got the rest of them down there. Got some cat toys and all whatnot. So I think that should be good for tonight. This little guy likes to nap on some rags. All right, good night, kitty. Well, I don't have a pilot bearing removal tool, so I'm gonna try and set this up. Drill these two sides out. Put a couple bolts in here and see if I can't get it to bolt to this and use a slide hammer to knock it out. Well, I got my taps all ran through, so I guess we'll see if we can get some bolts in this and see if we can knock this thing out. Well, you know what Rick Green always said, if they don't find you handsome, they should at least be able to give you a handy. I think that's what he said, I don't know. I never claimed to be smart, but boy, am I good at fixing some stuff here and there. After a little bit of scrubbing, got the crank all cleaned up. After getting that pilot bushing out, went ahead and oiled it down so it doesn't get any flash rust, and then the shop manager is making sure you're cleaning this camshaft up nice.
Surprised he's not standing right on top of me.
He normally would be. But yeah, that's was that 70 340 cam that we got out of another motor we had. So we're gonna try throwing that in this 360, but gotta make sure it cleans up all right and make sure it ain't got a bunch of crap in it. There's a couple spots in there that didn't look super nice. Probably good enough for the junk we're throwing together, maybe.
Most likely.
Yeah. My dad's been over here welding this thing up. Got some primer laid down on this, but Had the front floor pan wasn't quite welded in all the way, so my dad went ahead and finished it up. The other guy didn't quite get around to finishing that all up, so we're getting along. So what do you think? Are we overly ambitious idiots, or?
Absolutely.
I mean, we have 3 weeks to the day to do this, and we don't have anything in the car.
No drivetrain, no brakes, no front suspension to speak of that's solid. I mean, it's there, but
Right.
no steering column, no interior. Top of the back seats in.
Right. I mean, we could, you know, follow the whiplash CUDA and have no carpet or anything.
If I can find the carpet, I bought it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember you bought carpet for it.
Actually, I think I'm going to seam seal all the patches, and I've got some leftover sound deadener we can smack on there if you want. And I think we could have the carpet in the front seat on it tomorrow. I don't know that we need to not have the carpet in it to cut that loop out.
Yeah.
Because it's really not attached.
Yeah, I mean, it's not in the floor, but...
Matt talked like just cutting the whole thing out.
Well, I got a little bit of progress on that motor done. I'm thinking pressure wash it maybe tomorrow if we can, and try and maybe just get it cleaned up and partially assembled or something maybe. Got to put cam bearings in it because those are smoked on essentially every small block that you could ever buy.
Fortunately enough, I always carry spinners for just such an occasion.
You know what's funny is we bought that cheap cam bearing tool thinking we wouldn't do cam bearings a whole lot. We've done like at least half a dozen sets. Hey, but now we're experts.
Right.
Nobody installs cam bearings like we do.
Twice?
Only on certain ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only on the ones that don't get your help with.
Hey, don't tell the shop manager. We don't want him to know that. Get this 360 block pulled out, getting ready to wash it up. So, already went through, we honed the boards on it. It ain't too great, but it'll be good enough for what we're doing. Gonna go ahead and hit this thing with some purple power and pressure wash all this crap off of here. So hopefully it clean up pretty decent, be a little bit of work, but I think after that, get that rotating assembly put back in it, and got new piston rings for it and everything. So should be ready to roll after that. Well, just got done washing that all up. Started raining. Got this intake all cleaned up here too. Intake actually didn't turn out too bad. Some of the paint on it's actually pretty decent still. Yeah, we're getting along. So I'm gonna spin this over, let this dry, and maybe we can get this assembled today. Been through a few of these motors. The one thing I've never done is any oiling mods. I've never gone through like radius this hole or done the one on the cap or anything. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a carbide burr, just go through and radius all the edges of this, kind of open it up, smooth it. So I should have done this on my 408, but you know, a little more naive at the time. So we'll just go ahead and get that done. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this gasket here and I'm gonna lay it over this and actually just mark it with a marker. And that way I can get the rough shape of this and just taper it all into the edges. And a lot of times you guys will do the edges of the oil pump here. I don't think I'm gonna worry about this a whole lot just because of the fact it's flowing out of it, and I'm not as concerned with where it's going into the cap and everything. So I don't want to tear too deep into this, but just kind of radius all the edges so that way it can actually flow a little bit smoother into it instead of having that hard lip on there. So hopefully help that flow just a little bit better. That's not exactly perfect, but it's got a nice taper to it. Kind of opened it up going into the cap there, so cleaned it up a bit. Should work pretty good. So hopefully we'll be all right there. Spent a little bit of time cleaning through the core plugs in there. Got the main bearing set in. Got the crankshaft ready to roll in here. Got all the caps cleaned up. They're all just chilling in here. So you're ready to throw this crank in it. We'll probably check the clearance, make sure it's good to go, and then we'll start throwing pistons in this thing. Well, after some work and plastic gauging and doing some other stuff here. I got the crank in it. It spins nice and easy. Got assembly lube on all the bearings. Everything's torqued, put into place. It's good to go. So I think we're going to start filing some rings and putting some rods and pistons in this thing. So, and also eat some pizza because I'm hungry and I'm fat. All right, now I'm checking the end gaps on the rings. Got the first rings done. So loosest I had was 20 thousandths and the tightest was 17, and I think they're 15 to 20 thousandths is the spec on them, so we're all good there. You got to worry about pinching any rings. So I'm gonna check the second one, and then I think we'll smack some cam bearings and then the pistons into this thing. Now we're throwing some cam bearings in this bad boy. You looking white trash as ever. Don't let us fool you. We are borderline experts on this topic here, you know, because we've done like a million sets of these frickin' things.
We're borderline idiots, one or two.
I don't know if there's any borderline on that.
True.
Got one down. Look at them sweet cut off jorts. Calm down, Fabio. That's an obscure reference. Now it's stuck, huh? Shouldn't have put that crank in there, huh?
Yep, maybe we'll just
give a little spin. It's down in there somewhere. All right.
It's just like a dispensary machine.
Right. Gumball machine for cam bearings.
Right.
Bam. Cam bearing expert.
Bam.
Blam.
Loosen me expert.
Need another hand. Stick it in. Oops, shit, wrong way. Other wrong way.
Other wrong way.
I'm an idiot, don't mind me. I'm trying to film and do this at the same time. It's not easy. Whoever told you that doing YouTube's easy, they lied.
Liars.
All right, got our cam in. Now it spins free after some, you know, clearancing of things.
Right.
Where you got piston rings going on. We got piston here, ready to go. We're going to throw that on here and get this shoved into the bore and get the cat to stop playing with the freaking fan. What are you doing back there? Stop messing with that fan. That ain't yours. All right, we got all those in. We're down to the last piston. Piston number 8 is the lucky last piston. Lucky number 8. I guess we should have done 7 last, maybe, because those are 7's supposed to be a lucky number.
7.
Yeah.
Right.
Blop.
I did put the
You do have your things on.
my little patented things.
Protective shoes.
Protective sleeves.
Look at us. It's almost like we're professional, terrible engine builders.
Right.
We're going to have the best running motor on the face of the planet. We got cams we're not going to use. And a sweet intake. I think we got to find a carburetor for this as well, don't we? We might have one. Yeah.
Perhaps Malik will come off of one of his.
Right, it's 1407.
He didn't already destroy it or something.
Yeah, he probably, knowing Malik, it's probably ruined and he'll sell it to us as good.
Well, we already bought one thing that was questionable off of him today. So.
Right. I mean, and that's probably the least questionable thing you could have bought off of him.
True.
So, at least it doesn't have an engine for him to blow up before you buy it. So.
Right.
All right, we got a complete short block. Got the cam in it. Got all the pistons in there now. We're looking pretty good.
Got our goo.
The goo, Rob Reiner's goo that helped assemble everything. And I got a truck that looks like a workbench now. So
Yes.
sometimes you just need to do that on one of them days, you know. So tomorrow we're taking our heads up to get looked at by Craig because he's the expert on cylinder heads, and
Yes.
because we got a set that the valve springs are not quite correct on. So
A little heavy for the application.
yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back out here with our 360 Got our 7340 cam smacked in it. Got the cam retaining plate put on. Got it up at top dead center on cylinder number 1. And we're going to go ahead and put our timing set on. And our shop manager's making a noise somewhere. There you are. What are you doing? Just gonna meow at me for no reason and get the zoomies. Get the timing chain set on, it's fully timed. Get the fuel pump eccentric in. And now I'm working on cleaning up these heads. Had our cylinder head guy go through these, check the spring pressures on the seat. So they're all good. We were kind of worried because it's got dual valve springs with a damper in it and thought maybe it'd be kind of heavy. Turns out it'd be fine. 4 turns. Cleaned up good. Yeah.
Must have been done at some point, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
I think these are like 80s, kind of, like small garish kind of heads or whatever. But you got the, your ports in them for the whatever the hell, air pump or whatever. But I mean, they're decent. 188, 360 heads, nothing special. Get the head gasket slapped on this thing. We're gonna throw some heads on this bad bird. Get this thing ready for some paint. Moving along, we got the heads bolted down, all torqued up, ready to go. So next up's getting the valve train on it, timing cover, water pump, get the oil pan in there, got the intake down here. Got cleaned it up a little bit more, but it's about ready to go on. So we're getting there, work in progress. Well, over the last couple days, the old man got the carpet put in this thing, got the bench seat rolled in it. Oh, pretty comfy. So we got this going. Gotta get the steering column in it. Shop manager says he's impressed by our work. Oh, getting pulleys painted.
Well, getting clean.
Oh, well, you got the one painted. Well, I guess that's our harmonic balancer, but putting the old man to work. He's over here cleaning up pulleys on the alternator and everything, and getting it all cleaned up.
Timing cover, harmonic balancer, water pump.
Getting it all cleaned up and ready to go.
Yeah.
We'll have us a motor for this thing in no time.
Yep. Just got to, get the engine compartment painted up. I ordered the paint today, so it should be there.
So we got 2 weeks and 2 days left. Can we make it?
I got the engine compartment all welded up.
I got a long block together for it, so.
Yeah. Just need to, gussy it up a little bit and paint it. Got to cut that transmission cross member out.
I'm really hoping we could just use a 727 drive shaft on that, because that would definitely save us a lot of time for that.
You never bought one for it? Yeah.
Yeah. Because that transmission's pretty close, so I can't see why it wouldn't fit, but.
Yeah. 1.5 difference.
Yeah. I think it would be within the margin of error to make it work, but it might be a little tight.
Yeah. Hope so. That's gonna be fine.
The shop manager said he's inspecting your work.
Looks more like he's working on your feet.
He says you're doing a hell of a job. Keep up the good work.
Yeah. Let's pick up the pace.
He says get that lead out of your ass and get to work.
Right.
So this right here is a super handy tool. This is just a wheel stud on the back side of it, but this is a lifter bore burnishing tool, and what this is for is this actually goes through and makes sure your lifter bores are the right size for all the lifters. That way they move freely inside the lifter bores. This guy again. What the hell's he want? So this, what you do is you push it through the lifter bore and then pull it back out, and they're perfectly sized, so that way your lifters spin nice and easy and move up and down nice and free. A lot of times what will happen on one of these small block Mopars is that the lifter bores will get kind of caked up with some stuff, and they won't actually move like they should. If your flat tappet lifters don't spin, you'll just wind up eating a cam on one of these. So this is a really good tool to have. Hughes Engines sells these. So they're a little expensive, but well worth having if you go through enough of these motors. So all I do is just tap that on in there. Eventually you'll smack it all the way through. What you can do. So afterwards, when it's resized, it should just pull right through nice and easy. So now that you've done that, if you had a lifter that was tight, they go in nice and easy, spin really easy. So really good tool to have. I actually really like doing this with these just to make sure that you don't have any issues with the camshaft on these. Well, after a little bit deeper of a look at our lifters here, notice that these are all kind of have like a concave face to them, which I think means they're just worn. We don't really trust these lifters, so we end up just buying another cam for it. So hopefully that'll be okay. We ain't got to worry about cam on it. I guess it'd be a little more thumpy than it would be with this 340 cam, which should be nice. Okay, so as I stated before, we weren't real trustworthy of the lifters for that 340 cam after looking at them a little deeper, so we end up just buying this is a Summit Racing branded cam. Obviously Summit doesn't make them, they're rebranded by somebody else, but this one here, if you want to check out the cam card for it, you can pause it or whatever, but it should be, it was a 480 lift. Let's see, where's that 50 numbers? 228 at 50. So maybe a little touch large for what we're doing, but you know what? We said screw it. We want to, if we're buying a cam, we're going to get one thumpy for it. So that's what we got. And got the lifters right here. So check everything out, make sure it's all good to go. Throw it in there. Okay, we got our new cam installed. It's all lubed up with the proper grease and such. Got the cam gear in, got it timed. Things looking pretty good. So I think I'm gonna get the rockers on this thing, throw a timing cover on the front, oil pan, try and get it buttoned up and paint it. It's really starting to come down out there, but got my push rods in, rocker arms, everything's all torqued and ready to go. So keep throwing stuff together on this. After a lot of work, I got the valve covers cleaned up, put on it. I got this 340 intake put on here, all torqued up, timing cover. That's just an oil pan just to cover it up for now to paint it, because I got this chrome one we're going to put on there, so I figured I'd just leave it chrome. Yeah, man, turned out pretty good. Paint looks nice on this thing. So I've painted like 4 of these engines blue, because they were all going in that, and you know, I kind of like the blue on that motor. But I figured since this is going in an old Dart, this one here, I figured that the orange was the most appropriate, you know, that Hemi orange. So just seemed like the right fit for this. So I think it looks good. So pretty happy with that. So I think I'm going to roll this episode off here. I think that'll be it for now. Man, what a good amount of progress I've made on this thing so far. Pretty happy with that. This will be episode 1 of finishing the Dart up to go to the Mopar Nationals. So if you made it this far, give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe, share the video, do everything. Appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for the next episode when we dump the motor into the Dart. Thanks again. Also, Nate sucks.